Welcome, Bearcats, to another phenomenal time we're having, dialoguing with our coaching staff extraordinaire. Today we have Michal Miller with us. Welcome, Michal, in your third season now with the Bearcats.
Season. That's a little scary, but yeah, third season.
So you've known Coach Merriweather since your days as a player. She coached you when you were a player at Wright State. Then you went on to become a student assistant coach at Wright State and continue on with Memphis and then now the University of Cincinnati.
Yep.
So what has attracted you to the University of Cincinnati and what has kept you on board with Coach Merriweather on her and the staff's journey?
I don't know, just kind of going back to when I was a player for her, just kind of being on the outside looking in. As a player, you don't really get to see all the work behind the scenes. And then I feel like now that I'm on this side, like now I see how much work, how much grind, how much sacrifice goes into the experience of the athletes. And I feel like it means so much more when we get out there and we play and we win, because it's like, dang, we worked our tails off to get here as a staff, even though the players don't know how hard we work. And not saying that they don't think we work hard, but like you just never know when you're on the other side. And when you finally get on the other side, it's like, wow, y'all were doing this. Y'all spend 12 hours a day in here and we practice with y'all for 3 hours and then we get to leave. So like, I don't know, like I think that kind of just made me interested in just kind of seeing like behind the scenes and what it's like, you know, like all the fans, like you or any other like reporter or analyst, like they get to see when the lights come on out there, what it looks like. You don't really get to see behind the scenes. And so I think I kind of just saw the interest in that and just knowing Trina and just how she goes about life, and she's a women in power. Like she's just one of those people that you just don't pass up an opportunity for. You know, when it's handed to you, it's like, okay, I gotta go. Especially since opportunities like that just don't come around as often. So I don't know, I'm just excited to be here. I always tell Trina, forgive me if I'm not my best self at work because it don't feel like work, and they laugh at me every time because it feels like, oh, I'm just going to the gym today. Like, I don't know, like it's just such a loving and comfortable environment. So I don't know where else I would be, if I'm being honest.
Well, in your role as Director of Player Personnel, what does a day look like for Michal Miller?
Okay, so initially, so I also have the special assistant to the head coach. So just from the start of my day, like I wake up, I instantly call Trina like, hey, what's your schedule today? If I don't know it already, like, hey, what's going on? Like my job is to make her job easier. So I try to check on her first before I get to my player personnel / development side. Check on her, make sure she doesn't need anything, make sure she gets to where she has to get to. And then instantly, like when I get here, depending on how my morning goes with like my agenda, if she has me doing anything before I get to work, I can schedule our practices on my phone. Or if I need any help, I'll ask Leia or I'll ask AO or someone to kind of help me out with getting the video set up in practice. So pretty much that, just setting up the film for practices. There's a lot of times where Trina's like, hey, I want to watch this or I want to watch that. I want to watch 5-5 from today or from yesterday. Can we do it before practice? And she'll hit me with it at the last minute. And I used to panic, but like, I don't know, I started to have more confidence in myself. And she also is good at like telling me like, hey, it's okay, take your time, relax. And I'm like, okay. Because like I get a little anxious and a little jittery, like I got to get it done. I always want it to be perfect and not rushed. So sometimes she kind of throw it at me like the day of, and I'm like, oh man. So then eventually I get myself together and I'm like, all right, get it together. And they're like, man, that looked really good. But they have no idea the anxiousness and how hard it was for me to get it together. Like with film in Italy, I feel like the film in Italy I recorded on my phone. Like all the games, I recorded on my phone. I clipped it up quarter by quarter, play by play. So
on your phone?
On my phone. And the players had no idea until Trina said, Michal recorded this on her phone. I hope y'all know that. And they were like, oh, wow. So they all started asking me for the game because I feel like they realized how hard I worked on it. And like it just wasn't something that was, I press start, how I would do here, press start, and then press stop when it's over. So I don't know, like, I feel like that part, and then when the coaches are coaching them, yelling at them, to be better, of course, I feel like it allows me to take the backseat and kind of be like, hey, you got this. Like, kind of be an encourager, like, just to try to get them to just believe in themselves, and like, they're only yelling at you because they know you're capable of more. So it kind of allows me to kind of pull them to the side. I'm more of a one-on-one kind of coach. I don't know if I would ever be bigger than that, but I don't know, I guess that part just ties into just me just trying to help them understand what the coach really means. Because sometimes when you're being yelled at, you don't really hear the message until it's like, oh, they calm down now. Like, now I can understand. So, and then I do community service. So I make sure we get our hours in. Trina wants to do 2 a month. Sometimes if we don't get those 2 a month, I'm harder on myself that next month. Like, okay, I got to get 4 in this month. So
when it comes to community service and the impact of the Bearcats in the community, what exactly are the types of connections that resonate with the sisterhood in community impact?
So right now we have a Team Impact Kid. It's an organization that we also was with when we were at Memphis as well. We kind of just came over here and we wanted to do the same thing. And I think it's just all about, giving back to people that pour into you. I feel like if we want the fans to come and see us and support us and just be around us, I feel like why not go to those people who you want to come see you, go see them first and give them a reason to come. And I feel like it just means more when you go out and you reach out to these different organizations. We go to elementary schools, we've been to hospitals, we go and clean up like senior citizens' home, do yard work for them. And I feel like just creating those personal bonds and connections, when they come to the game, they're going to know you. They're going to say, oh my gosh, there's Allianz, oh my gosh, there's Reagan. So like, I don't know, like I just feel like it just means more when you do more, especially for what we stand for. And I feel like as a sisterhood, that's just, it comes from Trina. She's like, hey, we are who we are because of who we all are. So basically, like, it's bigger than us. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than the person next to me. Like, it's about all of us. I am who I am because of who we all are. Like, that's just what we carry from Wright State. And as a player, I didn't understand it, but the more I kept playing, and like, I'm like, dang, wow, this is bigger than us. Like, I am who I am because of you, and you. So, again, like, I don't know, it just stems from the head, and it just kind of trickles down. So,
speaking of the head, Coach Merriweather, for you as a player playing for and with Coach Merriweather, describe her from your perspective then as a young person to now as a more mature young professional. How do you see her impact on players and her impact on the game?
Man, honestly, as a player, when I first got to her, I was always a kid who carried my heart on my sleeve. I was always a kid who tried to please everyone. And when I got to her, she let me know, like, hey, just be yourself. Take your time. And I never had a coach really, like, talk to me. Like, coaches always kind of talk to the team as a whole. But I never had a coach individually, like, talk to me. And her coaching methods just were different. And I feel like she created a personal relationship with each player for what they needed, not for what she felt like she got from them. It really was just all about, hey, okay, she's a very good person of reading people. And so, I don't know, I feel like that just was something that kind of just reeled me in and kind of made me like, oh man, like, okay, like I could stay here. I could stay at Wright State. Like, I had other offers from bigger schools, but I knew what I wanted in a coaching staff. And so, I don't know, I feel like that was just something that kind of just made me want to stay to see how it is now. And now that I'm here, it's like, wow, like I see all the hard work. She's always on the phone. She's literally in a day, she'll fly somewhere to go watch an open gym, fly back, go to practice, go home, deal with her dogs, wake up, do it all over again. So like her grind, and she always tells us like, hey, I would never let anyone outwork me. I'm the head coach. You guys are never going to outwork me. Like, that's nothing to you, but like, that's just how I am. So her work ethic, and again, seeing that now as a 28 years old now. I met her when I was 18 years old, 19 years old. It's like, wow, this is what she does. This is how she's so great. This is how she gets all these amazing kids and leave these impacts, because you can call her and say, hey, I'm having a bad day today. She's like, okay, take a mental day. But if you call it another school, I don't know what school, but if you call it another school, I'm pretty sure they would be like, you need what? You'll be fine. Get out there. And so, like, I don't know. She sees you as a person first before an athlete. And I think that's what makes it worth it, playing for her and working with her or for her.
Well said. And it's unique because you were a pretty special player. Horizon League MVP, second team in the Horizon League, and then prior to that, junior college, you played in the national championship junior college game.
Yeah.
So you've had quite an experience with a variety of coaches and some talent yourself as a player. What do you hope translates from your game that you can role model for some of the UC players?
I talk to Reagan a lot about taking the shots that you can make. Reagan has a 75-80% mid-range shot. And I was a master of the mid-range, so, like, it's easy for me to coach her on that. So I'm like, whenever I see her take a shot or drive it and she probably should have pulled up, I'm like, hey, what could you have done? She's like, mid-range. Okay, what's your higher percentage shot? Mid-range. Like, I kind of reel it back in that way. Like, it goes from the shot clock going down. I was a person who always made a last second shot. Like, they would give the ball to me and they trusted me and it made me trust myself. So the shot clock is going down. I'm like, okay, I got to do this. I was want to do it. I talked to Reagan about it. I said, hey, you can make this shot. Why give it to someone who has a less percentage? I know the shot clock is going down and we may be winning and maybe end of a quarter, but you can take this shot. So I don't know, just the confidence, the drive and the mental stability just to know to be where your feet are. And that's another thing Trina would tell us, like, hey, be where your feet are. We can worry about everything else outside of this, but I need you to be where your feet are. Can you do that for me? And I will help you whatever it is outside of these lines that you need help with. But right now I need you to be where your feet are, because that's how you can help you, that's how you can help me, and that's how you can help everybody else.
So what are some of the mental training tools that the coaches instill in the student athletes here with UC women's basketball?
I would say when you get tired, everybody's tired. She's tired, she's tired, she's tired, she's tired. So go to your teammate and say, hey, I'm tired too, but we got to make this. We're going to have to run again. You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to acknowledge it. You've acknowledged it. Now you have to avoid that defeat again. You know what I mean? So, like, we try to tell them, like, talk to your teammates. Lean on your teammates. That's going to be the best mental block for you that you can, deal with. Like, talk to your teammates. They're there for you. You're a family. You're away from your family. You're here with this family. Talk to them. Say, hey, look, I missed that shot. My bad. So I think the biggest thing for us is just acknowledgement, accountability. Like, it's in our pillars. Like, that's just, you have to trust each other. You got to respect each other. You have to hold yourself accountable. And you got to be courageous in doing so. And so I feel like that's just the biggest thing for us, is just holding yourself accountable and also helping while you're doing that. So it's like, hey, I did this, but look, I messed up, you messed up. Like, we need to figure it out together. And I promise you, when I was a player, that helped me. I would go to my teammate who wasn't making her down and backs, and I would say, hey, I didn't do right. I messed up. Everybody, I'm tired too, but we got to make this. We're going to keep running. And it was a quick, like, oh, light switch. Hey, you right. Okay. So, I don't know. Like I said, accountability and just don't give up. Like, just simple. Just keep trying your hardest. If you tried your hardest and you still failed, Trina would be okay with that because you tried your hardest. If you said, Coach, I gave my all, she can't do nothing about it but accept that. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I mean by her being human and treating you as a person. You know what I mean? So, like, she set these standards and these expectations, but at the same time, she knows that you probably gonna fail. But it's about how you go about failing. And I think that's the biggest thing that we try to get our athletes to understand.
Until eventually that metric is met and that standard is achieved or exceeded.
Or you exceeded it because you're still trying to do as best as you can, you can do.
Injury is a part of the game. And you've battled with some injuries yourself. What about as a player? what are some ways that you have found it beneficial to help players when they're going through injuries or some setbacks?
That's interesting you say that. So Ramaya hurt her shoulder. She had tore her labrum back last summer. It's the whole season, the season before that. And she came in after having surgery as well. So she tore both her shoulders. And what I said to her is, I said, man, I tore mine too. I said, I know it hurt. I ain't even going to sit here and lie and say it don't. It hurt. I said, but what you got to do is trust your body. Don't block everybody out and don't let everybody make you feel like you should be here. You should be there. You go off of how you feel. Be honest with yourself and say, oh, I'm hurting today. I'm in pain. Acknowledge that and move on and do what you have to do. And I feel like, you know, we always tell them control what you can control. Because if you're trying to control something that you can't control, how can you move forward? It does nothing but push you back or keep you stagnant. So it's like quicksand if you trying to control something that you just can't control. So me having all those injuries, like I never like set out. I had those injuries and I had limited days when I practiced. Then I would play in a game. So like they micromanaged me and they would gauge me in practice and stuff. And I had to accept that. It was hard for me because I got backlash from my teammates because they're like, why is she not doing this? She's able to play in the game. But what I tell our players are, don't worry about them. Worry about yourself. You have to get back out here. Then you can tell them. I say, hey, it is crazy. You are sitting out right now. So they ain't going to want to listen to you. That's the reality. And I think as long as we are honest with ourselves about how things are, then it makes it easier to just move forward. It's like, yeah, I am sitting out. You're right. I shouldn't be talking. But at the same time, I can talk. I can talk because I'm a part of this team still. And I'm seeing things from a different lens. And I think that's what helped me. It helped me evaluate the game better, being out sometimes. So I just try to instill that in our athletes. Like I said, Ramaya, anybody who's injured, like I'm always talking to them. How you doing? You okay? Yeah, hitting the head. Well, all right, make sure you do what they're telling you to do. Like I allow that for me to get closer to them because I have battled so many things.
Player development-wise, what are some of your strategies and the overall staff strategies for player development and watching the players continue to get better and add to the long list of WNBA and professional Bearcats?
We do this thing preseason where we ask for everyone's goals as an athlete, as a person, and in school. And whatever their goals are personally, we bring them back in at the end of the season and we ask them, so do you feel like you achieve these goals on the court and off the court? In the school or in class, like, how do you feel like you achieve these goals? And based off of those responses, we ask them, how can we help you? So I feel like we try to make it about them. We attack it, letting them know it's their choice to do whatever it is they want to do. Just because you come and play basketball at a 4-year school, at a D1 school, a high major school, does not mean you have to play after college. And I think that's another thing that a lot of these kids think. It's like, no, you're not going to be a bum or anything because you don't go play afterwards. This is to set you up to be financially free, your parents or whoever raised you. And this is for you to start a career for yourselves after college. So I think we kind of just do things like read books, the 4 agreements, try work, carry water. We have Money Mondays, Teammate Tuesdays. Like, we do different things outside of basketball so they can know how much the person is important over the athlete. Because for them to be a good athlete, they have to be an even better person. So I think that there's just, it speaks for itself. And we get a lot of feedback from them. And they like it and don't even know that they like it. They invest. They're probably like, man, I don't feel like doing this, reading this book today. But when they get in there, you can't stop them from talking. So, yeah, we celebrate them on their birthdays. We celebrate them on holidays. And that ties into Brina's role as a culture. She does her best to keep everybody involved. It's about us. It's about you. It's about you. It's about you. It's about all of us.
That's beautiful. Any other thoughts that you'd like to share or anything that we wanted to cover that you might want to elaborate on a little?
I think that's it. You had some really good questions.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, I think the main thing for us is right now we're trying to build toughness. can't teach heart. You can't teach that. You got to have that in you. And I feel like our biggest thing now is just trying to get them to buy in the toughness of the sisterhood. And that toughness, we're not saying just because you get hurt that you got to play through being hurt. We're never saying that. You get hurt, you get the care you need, but it's the mentality behind it. Your mental is everything. If you tell yourself you're not going to get better, you won't get better. And if you say it, I believe in manifestation. If you say it, whatever you say is going to happen. So I feel like we're trying to get them to understand that. Like, hey, you got a sore back. That's okay. You're going to be sore. You're an athlete. You run up and down the floor. You do weights. You're going to be sore. But know the difference between being sore and being hurt. You know what I mean? So I had to learn that. And I still am going through that now. I have to know when I'm just sore, when I have physical therapy, or when I'm really hurt. So, and when you need to pull back. And I feel like it takes time because we have a young group, and they'll get there. They will. We have faith in them, and we're confident that they will. Talent is through the roof. Through the roof.
So give us a sneak peek. What can we look forward to for seeing from one or a few, or just collectively, the newcomers?
Honestly, they're fast. They're fast. We teach them to be quick, but not in a hurry. Because when you're in a hurry, it's chaos, causes chaos. You probably turn the ball over. You got to hustle back on defense and transition. And not everybody is discombobulated because they didn't let them score. So we try to teach them, like, hey, you can be quick, and you can be fast, but don't be in a hurry. Like, try your best to just get the proper tempo and still execute at the same time. Fast. I feel like we're going to be a fast-paced, up-tempo team. And when we get it down how we want it to look, running the offense, we run in transition, I feel like we'll be a sight to see for sure. So definitely looking into that, just up-tempo, faster than how we played last year. And it's time. It's time for sure.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach. I appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you.